Hey, so following on from that for the video, so two videos here. So as soon as I entered that video, things came through. So on my bookshelf, I've got a book called The Unknown Universe, and I was drawn to look at that book specifically. I wasn't planning, obviously, I was guided to look at that book. I'm sat across my bookshelf now, and I was just looking in that general direction, and then again, someone was telling me to look at that book immediately after I finished the video. And so they're what they're telling me. So what's the book title? The Unknown Universe. Okay. So what were we talking about in that last video? Well, we left it on the possibility of the message they gave being to be curious about our place in the universe, to know that we're part of a greater, to think of ourselves galactically, to look, to sort of look beyond, see ourselves as one, and with this universe and beyond, with all things. Again, to be curious, okay? And again, like I said, it's quite, I'm grateful that I have that book on my shelf now, because they answered my query pretty quickly with that. And so that's the answer, okay? And with that, I also saw then, literally moments after, literally seconds after, I saw out of the corner of my eye a flash of light. Okay, and I believe that actually that message was not, I don't really believe that that was necessarily from another, like, how can I say it, like a non-human intelligence that is like in my feeling. Okay, intuitively my gut feeling is telling me that this was from my guides, okay, that this was from Celestine, okay, beings that I've channeled before, Celestine, because they come through to me quite a lot, okay, and that white light I associate with them because they're white, they're all white. All these beings are all white, okay, as I've seen, and I could be wrong about them all being all white, of course, because I haven't seen every one of them, but I've seen one, and I could just have this feeling that that's probably what they look like, most of them. And so, yeah, so Celestine. So I think that this echoes the message that I received a few weeks ago, which I shared on my podcast, of wanting to encourage human beings to not be scared of the phenomenon, okay, and to see ourselves as part of the universe and part of all things, to not be afraid, to be to realize that we're one, and to again come out of fear about what these beings are doing on our planet. Again, I feel like this is probably, and again, to be curious again about to see ourselves as part of a galactic neighborhood. And I feel like this is an invitation, although we're not going to do it at the moment because of what's happening, okay? I think it's because to know we're not alone, okay, as well. This is one of the bigger things. We're going through a lot on this planet, and that's going to, and very likely continue, and, possibly, get worse perhaps. And so, again, there's a bit of a push to counter the intensity of the phenomenon's interventions with humanity, which are very serious, okay, with messages which are more positive and more encouraging and sort of uplifting, trying to sort of balance that out a bit and to say it's okay, you're not alone, go within, meditate, seek God, seek truth, seek to, like, see yourselves beyond this planet. Don't be afraid, because if you I don't know if you listen to that podcast episode, maybe you probably, again, okay, it's fine, whatever. In that podcast episode, I was taken beyond. I'll just give you a synopsis of what happened, but like I was taken beyond this planet. So I was pulled out from this planet, and then I saw the phenomenon as like a ring, almost like a ring, like, again, like the rings of Saturn, so to speak. So I thought they were represented as a ring, okay, around the planet, okay. again, that's not literal, of course, and then pulled out beyond them, and then sort of pulled out to see, again, the galaxy and star clusters and just all sorts of things going on out there in the universe, and to sort of connect with those things. And the message again was very clear from God, all it is, and from our guides, is that we are one, and that, they want us to remember that, and to see ourselves again as connected to, like, to see ourselves again as part of a, as to get excited about, like, enthusiastic about the idea that we are all, again, there's much more beyond our planet, and and we do have, like, brothers and sisters and other being and all sorts of things going on out there that we don't know about, and again, and just to see the wonder in things. I can feel the energy of this as I'm speaking, and it is definitely designed to, again, the idea is to encourage a sense of wonder, and again, curiosity in people, to get people to get out of their phones, off their phones, really, and maybe do, like, meditation, or go within, look up at the sky, and get curious. God knows what you will see if you do that. That's sort of the idea, to inspire a sense of wonder in humanity again, because I feel like there's a bit of that lacking at the moment. And I think also because of planetary changes that are underway right now, that are affecting the whole galaxy, I believe. And God knows, I mean, it could even be affecting, like, the galaxy cluster that we're in. I mean, who knows, isn't it? It could be beyond this galaxy even. I have no reason to think that's the case, but certainly our galaxy, I've been given the impression that the whole galaxy will be affected by, or at least certainly our section of the galaxy. Yes, and I'll tell you something in a minute that I'm just picking up as I'm speaking to you. But our section of the galaxy, it certainly is going to be affected by changes. We're not alone in this, and there's a feeling of just wanting to bring people together and beings together, and to see that we're part of, like, a cosmic web, and that we are, again, we're not alone, we're not in isolation. And then I just heard, as I was speaking to you, sorry, my eye is a bit dry, but I just heard, as I was speaking to you, a song or chant by Thich Nhat Hanh, which is the Great Bell Chant. And in that chant, he says, I'm just trying to remember the exact words. He says something about, God, I listen to this every day, and I forgot it. My memory is so bad. He mentions about suffering ceasing, okay? And he mentions also about everybody in the cosmos, okay? And he mentions everyone in the cosmos. This is right at the beginning of the song. Everybody in the cosmos, basically, everything in the cosmos. And he mentions about suffering ending. And I think, again, that is the idea. It's like trying to get people to come out of suffering, trying to, again, to bring everything together, bring everyone together. I feel like, again, this is coming from, again, Celestine angels, or and also God. I feel like all it is really wants us to see that it's very keen for, like, it wants to bring its children together, so to speak. It wants, it wants us to feel like we're not separate. It wants us to not struggle. It wants us to know its unconditional love. It really wants us to sort of feel, to know ourselves, and to know it, to know we're not alone at this difficult time on our planet, which is likely to possibly escalate as well. Okay, and I think, again, this is why these messages are coming through now. There really is a push to sort of get this sort of out there, that don't be afraid, and that we're not alone, and these beings, you know, are not gods. Then they're, you know, again, they're part, they don't rule the roost. We're not in prison, you know, we're not trapped. And, you know, they're trying to get us to not come out of fear, and to go, you know, to see ourselves as part of, like I said, something much vaster from which we're not separate at all. Okay. And that and there is hope, and there is love, and, you know, and there's wonder and things to get and to be enthusiastic about, and there's more for humanity, you know, and, you know, not to worry, okay, and not to be afraid. So yeah, so that is pretty much it, okay, for now. If anything else comes up, I will be sure to pass it on to you. You know, that was quite interesting. I wasn't expecting things to go down that route, but there you go, isn't it? At least, woohoo! And you know, that's nice. You know, hopefully, you've enjoyed that message, and so take good care. Thank you.